Why would a respected plastic surgeon butcher his beautiful wife in cold blood? The neighbors heard the screams before dawn. A frantic, piercing wail, cut short, then silence. Minutes later, sirens shattered the early morning calm in the affluent Los Angeles suburb. When police entered the luxurious estate of Dr. Nathan Caldwell, one of the most sought-after plastic surgeons in Beverly Hills, they found a scene out of a horror film. His young, stunning wife, Alisha Caldwell, lay on the bedroom floor in a pool of blood. Her throat was slit, multiple stabs riddled her body, and a look of frozen terror was stamped on her face. Nathan, still wearing his blood-drenched surgical scrubs, sat on the edge of the bed, staring at her lifeless form. He didn't fight when the police cuffed him. He didn't speak a word. But the truth, when it surfaced, would shake the city to its core. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the next jaw-dropping true crime case. Alisha had always been the center of attention. Born into a modest household in Miami, she had clawed her way up the social ladder with a mix of ambition, cunning, and sheer beauty. From an early age, she learned how to use her charm to get what she wanted. She wasn't just a pretty face, she was intelligent, calculating, and above all, driven by an insatiable hunger for wealth and status. Before meeting Nathan, she had been engaged twice, to men significantly older and wealthier, both of whom mysteriously broke off the engagements before reaching the altar. Some whispered that she had a habit of pushing men to their limits, testing how far they would go for her. When Nathan entered her life, she saw not just a loving husband, but an opportunity, a man with fortune, fame, and influence. But beneath the surface, Alisha had secrets. Her affairs weren't just about pleasure. They were about power, about keeping her options open. She thrived on the thrill of deception, of knowing she had men wrapped around her finger. And when she realized Nathan had become more of an obstacle than an asset, she began planning her next move. A move that involved his demise. The perfect couple. Or so it seemed. Nathan Caldwell was a man who had it all. At 42, he was renowned in his field, catering to A-list celebrities, politicians, and the elite. Handsome, intelligent, and charming, he was the face of success. He was a perfectionist in both his profession and his personal life, meticulously curating every aspect of his existence to reflect success and control. But despite the acclaim and the fortune, Nathan carried a loneliness that few ever saw. His childhood had been marred by an emotionally distant father and a mother who seemed to love his younger brother, Aaron, more. Nathan buried himself in academics, excelling beyond his peers, determined to be the one his family would finally admire. He built his own empire, but no amount of money or prestige could erase the wounds of always feeling second best. Enter Alisha, a woman so breathtakingly beautiful, she could steal the breath of any man in a room. When they met at an elite charity gala, Nathan was instantly captivated. She radiated an effortless charm, a blend of vulnerability and confidence that made her irresistible. To him, she was the missing piece, the woman who would finally fill the void. She made him feel special, like the most important man in the world. He never imagined that she would be the one to betray him the deepest. But Alisha had her own history. She was no stranger to men like Nathan, powerful, successful, desperate to prove their worth. She had a way of making men fall in love with her, only to use them to her advantage. To her, love was transactional, a means to an end. She had a magnetic presence, knowing exactly how to position herself in any room, always attracting the attention of the wealthiest and most influential figures. Growing up in a struggling household, Alisha watched her mother cycle through relationships with men who promised stability but never delivered. Determined never to be powerless, she studied the art of seduction and manipulation. She learned that beauty and intelligence, when wielded correctly, could open doors that hard work alone never could. By her early 20s, she had carefully cultivated a life where every relationship was a step toward her ultimate goal: financial security and prestige. Alisha's affairs weren't driven by mere lust, they were strategic. Each man she entertained offered her something: access, status, or financial gain. She had perfected the art of playing the victim when necessary, twisting situations to her favor, ensuring that no matter the outcome, she landed on her feet. When she realized Nathan's adoration came with a possessiveness that threatened her autonomy, she began crafting her next move. What she didn't realize, however, was that this time she had underestimated her opponent. Alisha, 29, was the woman every man desired, an Instagram model with flawless beauty and an air of effortless elegance. The tabloids fawned over their fairy tale romance, the whirlwind courtship, the lavish wedding in Santorini, the million-dollar mansion, and the jet-setting lifestyle. But behind closed doors, the picture-perfect marriage was a house of lies built on deception. Nathan had been madly in love with Alisha, or so he thought. He had gifted her the world, designer clothes, expensive jewelry, luxury cars. Yet as time passed, he noticed a change. She was secretive, withdrawn. Her phone never left her hand, and her late-night girls' nights became more frequent. He tried to ignore the creeping suspicion, convincing himself it was paranoia. Until one night, he found the first undeniable piece of evidence, a text message. Nathan had returned home early from a medical conference when he heard Alisha in the shower. Her phone, carelessly left on the vanity, vibrated with a message preview that made his blood run cold. "Can't wait to see you again, babe. Last night was incredible. Same place tomorrow?" His heart pounded. He scrolled through the messages. There wasn't just one lover, there were three. And the biggest shock? One of them was his own younger brother, Aaron Caldwell. The betrayal was a knife in his gut. Aaron, the black sheep of the family, had always been a reckless womanizer, but this was unimaginable. Nathan's world shattered. The love he had for Alisha curdled into something dark and monstrous. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. The images of her with other men, his own flesh and blood, haunted him. The more he thought about it, the more he saw the patterns he had ignored. Alisha had always been flirtatious, always drawn to power and influence. She had a way of making every man feel like they were the only one in the room. Yet now Nathan understood. He had never been the only one. Her late-night business meetings, the expensive gifts that didn't match her income, the subtle way she would steer conversations away from commitment, all of it had been signs he refused to see. She had manipulated not just his heart, but his entire sense of reality. He had placed her on a pedestal, but Alisha had been playing a long game, one where Nathan was just another pawn. And worst of all, she had done it with a smile, looking him in the eyes, telling him she loved him while she plotted her escape into another man's arms. The rage inside Nathan boiled over, fueling a fire he had never known existed within him. He had been a fool, a blind, pathetic fool. But no longer. The next time he saw Alisha, things would be different. Very different. And then, a chilling thought settled in his mind. She played me. She used me. And she thinks she'll get away with it. But something deeper stirred within him, something raw and unrelenting. He envisioned her laughing behind his back, whispering sweet nothings to other men while plotting her escape. He thought of the way she had touched him with the same hands she had touched them, the way she had smiled at him with lips that had whispered lies. The weight of her deception pressed down on him like an unbearable vice, tightening with each breath he took. His pulse pounded in his ears. The love he had once felt had turned into a twisted cocktail of betrayal, rage, and something darker. Something primal. She had built a web of deceit so intricate, so calculating, and she had never once thought he would unravel it. She had underestimated him. A shiver ran down his spine as realization set in. He wouldn't let her win. He couldn't. And for the first time in his life, Nathan Caldwell felt the intoxicating pull of complete, unwavering control. The next move would be his, and his alone. The night of the murder, Nathan prepared an extravagant dinner for Alisha. He poured her favorite wine, feigned affection, and watched as she laughed, oblivious to his knowledge. She looked radiant under the dimmed chandeliers, dressed in the silk robe he had gifted her last Christmas, sipping wine with the ease of a woman who had no idea her lies had caught up with her. Her laughter, once music to his ears, now sounded hollow, a taunt reminding him of every whispered secret she had kept from him. As the night deepened, Alisha sauntered toward their bedroom, her perfume lingering in the air. Nathan followed, his mind replaying every betrayal, every smirk she had given him, while hiding her sins. He let her settle in, waiting until her breathing slowed, feigning sleep before retrieving a scalpel from his medical bag. He had performed hundreds of surgeries with precision. this would be no different. But as he stood over her, he felt an odd sense of detachment, as if he were simply making another incision in the operating room. For a moment, he hesitated. The woman before him, the one who had once captivated him, was now nothing more than a beautifully crafted lie. He recalled the way she used to run her fingers through his hair, whispering sweet nothings, all while deceiving him. The weight of her betrayal pressed down on him, suffocating, unbearable. Alisha stirred slightly, a whisper of a smile still on her lips, unaware of the impending reckoning. The irony was almost poetic. She had underestimated him just as he had once underestimated her. This time, however, he would not be the fool. Alisha awoke to find Nathan standing over her, his face eerily calm. "Did you ever love me?" he asked, his voice steady. Alisha blinked, her lips parting in confusion. "What?" He held up her phone, displaying the texts. "3 men, one of them my own brother. Did you think I wouldn't find out?" Terror dawned in her eyes. "Nathan, please." The first slash was quick, clean, a surgeon's cut. Then another. And another. Blood soaked the pristine white sheets as her screams filled the room. Within minutes, she was dead. Nathan sat beside her body, his mind eerily blank. He had given her everything, and she had betrayed him. Now he had taken it all away. The police knew something didn't add up. The attack was too methodical, too precise. A crime of passion? Perhaps. But there was no struggle, no defensive wounds on Nathan. It looked more like an execution. Detective Olivia Rise, a seasoned investigator with a sharp mind, wasn't buying the crime of passion angle. She dug into Alisha's life, discovering the affairs, the money transfers, the hidden credit cards. But there was something more. Alisha had been planning to leave Nathan. Texts to an unknown number suggested she was seeking legal advice. Further investigation uncovered cryptic emails between Alisha and an offshore attorney specializing in asset protection, detailing plans to move significant sums of money into secret accounts. Additionally, hotel security footage revealed Alisha meeting with a man identified as a known fixer for high-profile divorces, someone who'd been involved in cases where wealthy spouses mysteriously vanished. Reyes began to suspect that Alisha had not just been planning to leave Nathan, but had been orchestrating an elaborate scheme to strip him of his fortune before ensuring he was out of the picture. Permanently. The deeper she dug, the clearer it became. This wasn't a simple case of infidelity. It was something far more sinister. The real bombshell came when Detective Reyes subpoenaed Alisha's financial records. Alisha had taken out a secret life insurance policy, one that named herself as the beneficiary, with a suspicious clause stating she would inherit Nathan's wealth upon his death. The twist? Nathan's medical records revealed he had been poisoned, slowly, over time. Alisha had been planning to kill Nathan first. The case became a media frenzy. The trial was gripping, drawing nationwide attention. The defense argued temporary insanity, citing Nathan's emotional trauma from Alisha's betrayal. But the prosecution painted him as a cold, calculated killer, a man who used his surgical skills to butcher his wife with precision. Then came the shocking twist in court. Evidence that Alisha had attempted to poison Nathan, revealed by forensic toxicology. The jury was torn. Was he a murderer? Or a man who struck first in self-defense? In the end, the verdict was clear. Guilty, second-degree murder. Nathan was sentenced to 25 years to life. But the true horror lingered, the chilling reality that this wasn't just a crime of passion. It was a twisted, high-stakes game where both husband and wife were playing to kill. As he was led out of the courtroom in chains, Nathan's final words to reporters sent a shiver through the crowd. "She was going to kill me first. I just beat her to it." Even after Nathan was locked away, whispers of deeper conspiracy swirled. Who was the mysterious lawyer Alisha had contacted? Was Aaron truly unaware of her deadly plan? Or was he in on it? Had Alisha manipulated not just one man but several into a tangled web of death? One thing was certain. This wasn't just a murder. It was the perfect crime gone wrong, and everyone involved had blood on their hands. Thank you for watching. If this case resonated with you, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode. Your support means so much, and we're grateful to have you as part of this community. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.